Welcome to Lucid Makes Music, the show where Lucid makes music. I feel like making something very smooth, soft and soulful today. Probably like some Isaiah Falls type sample. So soft keys, wah guitars, maybe some strings, just something really beautiful. So let's get started. But first, let me tell you about the sponsor of this video, which is OneOdio. OneOdio makes high quality but affordable headphones for producing, mixing, monitoring, DJing, all kind of music stuff. A little while ago, they sent me these wireless headphones, which I really like. And now they've sent me these ones, which I also really like. These are the Monitor 80 headphones. As the name says, they're great for monitoring, but of course you can also use them for producing, mixing, mastering, whatever you want. I think the sound is very clear and balanced. They are very comfortable. The design is very nice and clean, and for only about $100 I don't think you can go wrong with these. But if that's still too much for your budget, OneOdio is having a Black Friday and Cyber Monday sale from November 20th to December 1st, where you can get up to 36% off on their products. So if you want to get some new headphones, now is the time. Every link you'll need is down in the description. Thank you OneOdio for sponsoring, and now let's make some music. So a few days ago I actually went back to Drugs and Lullabies by Isaiah Falls, which is definitely my favorite project of his. And I listened to the songs with my guitar, trying to figure out like the chord progressions, which I realized I really suck at, by the way. But I noticed that in many songs they're using just very simple like 4-1, 5-1 type of chord progressions. So that's what I also want to go for. And if you don't know what these numbers mean, first of all, learn the number system, it's really important. But just a very quick explanation, you're pretty much just assigning a number to every chord in a scale. So for example, in the B minor scale, a 4-1 progression would be 1, 2, 3, 4, E minor, 2, 1, B minor. So yeah, you can go for like 4-1, 5-1 progressions or like 1-4, 1-5 progressions. They all have kind of a similar feeling, I think. But yeah, let's see what we can make. Okay, I think I like this one. E minor 9 to A minor 9 with this B on top. I think that sounds really nice. So yeah, that's a 1-4 progression in E minor. By the way, shout out to Wolves, I'm using a sound from his pack. He's a long time goated supporter of the channel, so check him out. He has some very nice, clean sounds for R&B in there. So one passing chord right here. When finding passing chords, oftentimes I start with like the top note I'm hearing in my head, and then I'm just building a chord underneath that fits the feeling I'm going for. And then I'm hearing two more dissonant type of chords at the end. Yep. I like that. Okay, I really like this progression, and I think these type of samples really live from the chord progression and also like the ambience and the vibe. So I want to focus a bit on creating a nice ambience by layering stuff, by adding some textures, and not fill it up too much melodically, and rather just, you know, build a vibe. So I want to start with a very soft percussion loop. Yeah, something like that, where it's also like sparkling a bit. replace this little snare. The texture of it is a bit too weird. I think we should go with a snap. Yeah, that's nice. And then just take away some of the hits to keep it very soft, very spaced out. Pretty much just keeping these fills. Then I also love these chimes in there. Alright, I love that. Maybe a very soft kick. I definitely want to layer the chords, and I think I have a one shot in mind. I made a really beautiful one a few days ago. I think it's this one. By the way, if you want to have one shots or percussion loops like I'm using here, check out my Lucid Weekly subscription. You get really cool stuff in there. What if we add a slide to that? I think a very subtle slide, but it kind of takes a little while to get to the right note. Oof. That's crazy. Actually, I think I want to keep the first chord like that, but for the second chord, I don't want the attack and the initial slide again. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give every note a different color, and that way we can slide all the notes to the chord we want by using the note color. Then obviously I just want it as an ambience. I don't want you to even hear it too much, so definitely you want just the high end. Wash it out a lot. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I love that. And then for one more ambient layer, I'm thinking just some strings. Yeah, just some very simple notes. Turn it down in the mix a lot. Now I think it's wah guitar time. Okay, I'll definitely do the chords first. So just E minor 9, A minor 9, and then the second time I'm doing this hammer on. Sounds crazy. And yeah, just going along with the chords pretty much. That hammer on was not that clean, so I'll do that again. And then just some little melodies, little fills, little riffs. a few little riff ideas. I'm just gonna play them all in and then as always pick the best ones. Okay, let's grab the best ones. So I have these few slices and I'm just gonna arrange them properly. Also sometimes when I have some cool slices, but there's something missing, I can always just record that in afterwards. Right here, for example, I'm hearing. Alright, so this is what I came up with. It's pretty much just these slices and then I'm duplicating them, but the second time I'm adding this one, which just adds a bit of variation, makes it feel more special. That's what it sounds like. I think we could add a really cool ambience with choir vocals. So I think I want to sing in the notes of like the two main chords. And even though I can't sing it all, this pretty much always works. You just have to hit the note for like a few seconds. And the way I usually do it is I pull up an auto tune. Settings don't really matter. I just want to see which note I'm singing pretty much. And then an Edison to record. And then I'll just go through the notes and record them. If you want to keep your plugins open even when you go to different windows and stuff, you can just click detached and they'll be there the entire time. Of course, I'll be wearing the beautiful headphones by OneOdio. Actually, I'll pitch the chords down like 5 maybe, just so I can pitch my voice up again later. I'll just be singing oohs, I guess. Now I can just delete the notes where I kind of messed up. Then I have the notes right here and I can open them in new tone, which is like Melodyne in FL. We can bring in the center a bit, bring the variation down. I can choose my scale, snap to scale. And if you're like me and only have the trial version of new tone, you can't drag these notes back into your project, but you can just get around that by recording it with an Edison after the new tone. Then we have all the chord notes we need, and the choir sounds like this. Which doesn't sound too bad at all. Maybe I'll even manage to get a bit of a lead vocal in. I'll just sing in random stuff and we'll see if we can maybe chop it up, manipulate it a bit. Same new tone trick to that. Okay, now I'll pitch these up to the original pitch. Okay, this is still sounding very ass, but we can process this to be really nice. First of all, we need to make the notes unique, so we can pan them all a bit differently, make them sound wider. I really like this vocal sweet sauce preset. And I think we could also go for a convolver and do like the bathroom preset. And maybe I'll use the Stretch Pro mode to keep like the sound of the lower pitch we recorded it in. Pretty nice. And then for the lead vocal, we'll kind of mess with it a bit, maybe make it twice as fast, bring the formants down. I don't mind these two little fills. Probably add some echo boy, maybe a little altar boy. Maybe reverse some of them. And maybe we can also reverse the chords or a little swell right here. For the arrangement, I'm thinking we definitely have a separate section for the vocal stuff without the guitars, so that there's not too much going on. Let's also process the guitars a bit. Reverb and flankers on the chords, taking out a bit of the highs. Maybe we can find a little preset for the lead guitar. I think now I need a little bass line, and then there's not too much more to add. Okay, I think I got something. Sexy as hell. I feel like I'm kind of getting better at playing the bass. Not too long ago, I'd have to like tweak every single note, cut out like tons of little noises and stuff in between. I obviously still gotta do that, but I think I'm getting a little bit better at it, which is really nice. So a lot of songs in the Drugs and Lullabies album have this sirens, street type of ambience. I don't want to add the sirens because I add these in a lot of samples, but I think some street ambience like that could be cool. And then I have this little texture that I made. I call it Guitar Sirens. I think I could use that instead of like actual sirens. Maybe not under one, because we have the guitar chords there. Kind of want to go to this weird chord at the end and add one of my pads. Little pause right here. Okay, this first section is beautiful, it's perfect. Let's see what we can do for the vocal section. I took out the percussion loop and probably also the snap, and maybe have only the first bass hits. Maybe maybe we can add some little key runs in that section. Just make it sparkle a bit more. Yeah, I'll just play in random stuff pretty much. Alright, I think that's gonna be it. I'm really happy with how this turned out. I'm gonna mix this properly and then show you the final result. Let me know what you think, and thanks for watching.